feel wonderful. You know, because I've been making books now and drawing for 40 or 50 years or something, people always assume, you know, I must have had books as a kid, you know, to be doing it now as a vaguely pretending to be grown-up person. But I didn't have books and I didn't draw, really. You know, living in Malakuta, I don't know whether you know Malakuta, but it's an incredibly beautiful place, you know. It's right on the coast, right in the eastern tip of Victoria, just before the New South Wales border. And, yeah, it's gorgeous. So stunning coastline, beaches, cliffs, an inlet to a bit of a lake system and rivers. And we lived in a little shack. It's heaven. Wonderful childhood. Gone for days on end. Parents never knew where we were. You know, it was just perfect. I remember trying to do a couple of good drawings when I was about grade 4, because we had a great teacher when I was in grade 4. We had a wonderful teacher, a man called Don Wordsworth, really inspiring, total gentleman, incredibly generous, hard worker, and he expected us to work hard too, you know. But some afternoons we'd take our little lunches in our paper bags and head for the bush, and he'd build a treehouse with us or something, you know, just... anybody who didn't know how to swim, we'd go down the beach, he'd teach us how to swim, you know. But he could draw. He could really draw. And if the day was like today, he'd say, let's get all our work done this morning. Just fantastic. And we'll head for the bush this afternoon. And he'd hand out all these HP pencils. We'd have our sketchbooks or bits of paper or bulldog clips. But he'd say, I want you to find your favourite tree and draw it with this pencil. And then he'd give us, you know, I don't know, a pot of, or, you know, a bottle of ink and a brush and say, now do the same tree with this, you know. Or, yeah, I don't know, a clod of dirt or something. I don't know, whatever it is, you know, a pot of tar and a, you know, bit of horsehair or something. The same tree, you know. There's no right or wrong way. You can just explore and see what you can discover. I think that's just fantastic. One possible definition of an artist is that he or she is someone who continues to do as an adult whatever it is they most loved when they were a child, you know. And there's a bit of truth in that. But I think, certainly for me, some passions I discovered in my childhood are certainly well and truly, I'm happy to say, alive and well still. Please God that it should be so for most people, really. Mm. When people ask me what I do, I don't know that I've ever answered. I'm an illustrator. I love to draw and I love to paint. And I think images can be pretty potent things. But the only reason I make books is not because I want to be an illustrator. It's because I'm actually a bit passionate about the language. I love language that really turns me around, or that makes me kind of think about something in a whole, you know, way I never thought about it before. And or just that is language like I've never quite heard before, you know. I never know how I'm going to do a book. I read the text a million times. I eat, sleep and dream and weep and bleed the text for months on end. Sometimes it's been years. Making books is probably just about as painful as giving birth. It is giving birth. It's really pain. It's really, I'm sorry, people. There to here.
Yeah.
Still essentially the same image, but it's kind of like you're looking through a telephoto lens or something, zooming through, bringing everything up to the front picture plane, sort of in a sense. Of course, any text, there's 100 different ways you could do the thing, but Fox took me about 3 years or something to kind of figure out and do, and it's layers and layers of paint and gouache and shellac and varnish and, you know, I didn't use pencils, I didn't use pen and inks, I used kitchen forks and broken bits of wire and, you know, gouge and scrape and scratch. layers of stuff to try and answer the tone of voice in that piece of writing. Each book, each text is totally different. So, got to find a new way every time. It's funny, we hear about writer's blocks all the time, don't we? The sheer terror of the blank page. Yeah, it's hideous. It really is hideous. I hate making a bad drawing. I don't collaborate with anybody, really. The thing I really collaborate with is the text. Of course, I deal with the author at different points. I've had quite a lot to do with some authors over the years. Of course, I've collaborated with publishers. I work with publishers and editors to varying degrees over the years, etc., etc., etc. And if I've said yes to a text, I can actually disappear then into my own little hello log somewhere. I mean, I think when kids are first discovering language and images and how they work together, kids are so literate and alert, and it's such a rich kind of mix to be involved in and try to contribute towards. So I love all that, but I don't actually think about kids at all, really, when I'm making a book. I'm just teeing off from the text. There are so many books out there that are trying to teach kids all sorts of things. I don't know, that are a bit didactic or that are worthy, themes. And a lot of it's incredibly well-intentioned and wonderful and fair enough, and go ahead and do it, and good luck to you and all that sort of stuff. But I think some of it really underestimates kids, and I think in a way it's best to leave. Kids can work a lot of things out themselves, And I think one of the best things you can give them really is beautiful language, actually. And great stories, beautifully told. Because if you can trigger, boing, you've got no idea where kids might take it. It's just wonderful. Don't tell them where to go. Don't tell them where you think they ought to go. Just let them go. But give them something wonderful to travel in. I don't know. Something really corny or something. I just think a bit of beauty, bit of all that.